Good morning, class. Today we will go over the lab 6.1, and this lab will cover what we learned in our lectures, the dictionary. As you can remember from our lectures, a dictionary is a key value pairs type of data structures. So in a dictionaries, there are multiple items, just like an array. Each item has a key and has a value. This is what makes a dictionary different from an array. So to start our assignment, the flow of the program is it runs on a while loop that always asking for the users what they want to do with the phone book. User can choose to add um, an item in the phone book or shows certain numbers for um, certain item in the phone book, or they can choose to quit. So if they choose to quit, the loop will be broken, and you would end the loop. And if there's any invalid comment, then the message, the error message here should be shown. So let's try to rerun the program before we write anything. So what I would normally do is to put a pass keyword in here. The pass keyword doesn't really do anything. It's just making um, it's syntactically correct, and then it passes all of the options that user choose. So let's run the program first. Okay, what would you like to do? So if I do add, then it doesn't do anything, and it will just re-ask the question because we are in a while loop. The same thing would happen for a show option. And if we try a non-existent comments, let's say a delete comment, then it will show our error message. And if the quit command will actually quit the program and display the thank you message. Right. So let's add an item into our phone book. So in the dictionary, an item consists of a key and a value. And a key in this case is the name of the persons or the place that you want to add into your phone book, and the value would be its number. So those are the two type of data that you want to get from our user. So I would go and add the first two name, add the name and the number using the input command. So what's the name? And do the same thing for the number. What's the number? And if you recall, the syntax to add a new item into a dictionary would be dictionary name and the key of the item equal to the value of the item. So in this case, the key of the item is name and the value of the item is a number. So we just to replace our syntax with the correct parameters. So phone book, open square bracket, name, close square bracket, and equal to number. Right. So to make sure that we added things correctly, I'm just going to add a print statement in here to print our phone book dictionary after every add. Okay, so let's run the program. What would you like to do? Add. What's the name? So I'm going to add the White House. What's the number? I'm assuming it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you can see in here, our dictionary is updated. You can see the White House was added and the number 1, 2, 3, 4 is also added in here. So that's how you implement the first part of the program. One other thing that we can try to do is to choose to add a number that's already exists inside our dictionary, right? So we can do emergency. And then if we add a new number, let's say 999, then the emergency in our phone book dictionary would be updated to be 999. This is because our operation to be add or update an item in our dictionary is using the same syntax. So normally you don't want to expose an operation like that, so that it can override existing data. We could avoid that by adding a check, which is not necessary for this assignment. But if you want to take care of that use case, you can add a conditional check for if the key is inside our dictionary. If it is already inside the dictionary, then we don't want to add that, or we don't want to update the item inside our dictionary. Okay, so I want to stop the program, and then now let's go with the show option. Let's clear the screen. So for the show option, the only thing that you need to be able to show a value from the dictionary phone book is asking for the name. So that's what we need. Name input equal what's the name, and then we will try to print our phone book with name. Right. So let's try to run this thing. What would you like to do? Show emergency. It prints 911. So that's correct. What if we try to show an item that's not inside our dictionary yet? So let's say I want to print the number of the city of Detroit. Oops, we have an error in here, and it seems like our program was stopped working, and the error is key error Detroit. So this error means that there is no item with a key Detroit in our phone book. And generally, when it comes to error, we don't want our program to be broken like this one. We need some sort of error handling, and in this case, we can use a conditional to take care of that error handling. So if name is in phone book, then we print the phone book name. Else, we print an error message. Name is not in the phone book. Okay, now this error is, I missed the plus here. Now this error is taken care of. Let's try to rerun our program. So show. Let's try the old case first with emergency to see that if it is still working as expected. Okay, so it prints 911. That's good. And show again Detroit. Detroit should not be inside our phone book, right? Okay, this is a message that we have. Detroit is not in the phone book, and our program doesn't break. So that's something that we want. If I chose to add Detroit in here, let's just say 1111. And Detroit is now in our phone book. And then if I want to show Detroit, we should get 1111 as the answer. Right. So this is what we have. And this is the end of the assignment. I hope that you got to learn and use new data structures. So this is going to be different from using arrays. And it might take a while to get used to this new certain type of data structure, but it would be really convenient. And would aid your understanding of computer science significantly.